Alright, y'all. Welcome to This Week in Boxing. Of course, it's your boy, Coach True, bringing y'all that good boxing analysis, breaking down all the fights this week, man. Just want to thank everybody for tuning in. If this is your first time tuning in, what I pretty much do is give you all the fights that's going to be happening this week, let you know how I'm feeling about them, you know, all the fighters worth watching, where you can find the fights at, stuff like that, breaking down certain things about the fighters, you know. If there's a few quality fights on the undercard, as far as like title shots or people I think that's really worth seeing, then I'm going to mention that too. So that's pretty much the gist of the show, you know what I mean? So hit the subscribe. I'm going to just tell you that right away. Just, without further ado, let's get into this thing. So the first fight is going to be Wednesday on the 10th, right? It's going to be happening at the Pro Box TV Event Center in Plant City, Florida. They have a lot of pro fights down there, by the way. This is about the third one I done did so far. Now, this one is headlined by Angelo Leo. He's going up against Eduardo Baez. And let me tell you something. This fight might be entertaining. Now, I'm going to tell you why I say might. Because these guys are both similar to me. And, I can see why they headlining the show, but I can also give you an argument as why it shouldn't be a main event. But anyway, I like Angelo Leo, man. Now, the guy debuted back in 2012. They call him El Chinito, by the way. He's 29 years old, 5'6", right? So I'm going to tell you something about this guy. I like him. He fought Steph Fulton, lost a unanimous decision to Steph back in 21. And that was a pretty easy fight for Steph, by the way. That was a clean unanimous decision. I don't know if anybody saw it, but Steph definitely wiped him out. Didn't stop him, though, but wiped him out as far as the scorecards. And he was 20-0 at the time. Now, why I bring up that 20-0 is because a lot of the guys that he fought were just not, high-quality guys. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that. He had a few prospects in between, and by prospects, I mean like generous records, 8-0, maybe 7-1, but for the majority of the fights, these guys have anywhere from 5, 7, 10 losses, so not a lot of quality guys. So when he ran into Steph, obviously, that was the top of the division, so the wipeout kind of pretty much made sense. You necessarily didn't see Steph stopping him, but Steph would beat him, just a higher level of skill, But I do like the guy. That's the thing. He a dog, he don't mind getting in there working. He got decent speed, decent power, a lot of heart. I seen the guy getting tagged up a couple of fights, and he didn't give in. Now his last fight, he got a knockout. He beat old Mike Plenty, I'm not sure, for the WBA Continental North American Featherweight title. And that was a knockout. So Eduardo Baez, 23-5. He got 9 knockouts, 2 draws. The guy debuted back in 2013. He's 28 years old, known as El Gemelo. Okay, pretty decent guy. Fought some decent fighters. His best win was against an Enrique Vivas to me. That guy was 21-1. He beat him. Now he lost 4 of his last 5. In between all of that, from 11-21 to 6-23. Now, in between those losses, he got KO'd by Emmanuel Navarrete. He lost to an Arnold Kigai, or Kagai. I'm not sure, pardon me if I'm mispronouncing that. He also lost to Jonathan Lopez. Now, after that, he beat 2 middle-of-the-road guys by TKO. Now, I like him, too, because he a dog, and I saw him fight hard. I know he likes to work. He lost to, I forgot this guy's name, Rais Salim. Now, Aleem is a decent fighter. He got decent speed, and pretty good power. And I watched, he got out on Baez, but Baez landed some good shots. Now, I'm going to tell you why this fight is going to be entertaining, though. Because both of these guys, it's like to sit in front of you and trade. So you're going to get some fireworks. That's pretty much it. It's not going to be a lot of boxing in this fight. I'm almost guaranteeing somebody gets knocked out. They both got decent chins. So I don't think the knockout may come out from the headshot. It'll probably be a body shot. Now, as an FYI, old Baez got stopped by Navarrete with a body shot. Left hook to the body, put that guy down. So that's how I see this fight kind of going. These guys are going to be in there going crazy, throwing bombs at each other, sitting right in front of each other. They're going to be bruised up, all banged up at the end of this fight. Trust me. Neither one of these guys like the box. So it's not going to be that kind of fight. So if you like, lots of entertainment, that kind of way, if you're entertained by that kind of sitting in front of your trading kind of stuff, you're going to enjoy this fight because that's what these guys are going to be doing from beginning to end. And I'm almost guaranteeing that because from what I studied and watched these guys, the few fights that I saw, that's what they into. That's what they into. It ain't a lot of moving and shifting and all that kind of stuff. It's a lot of working inside, hitting the guy with taking a shot to throw a shot. That's how they both fight. So really entertaining. Now, who I think gonna win? I can't even tell you. I can't even tell you. What I will tell you is I think it's gonna be a knockout. But if I have to pick, which I do, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that Angelo Leo is gonna pull this fight out. So that's just what I'm gonna say. But I wouldn't be surprised if Eduardo Baez won as well. What I would be surprised though is this thing went. All right, y'all. So to the undercard, we're gonna have Jacob Bradley Gomez Zayas, who's 9-0 with one draw, going up against a Jose Arellano or Ariano, depends on how they pronounce. I'm not quite sure. Now, I think this fight gonna go. Just to put a period on it, I think that Jose got really slow hands and really slow feet. I think that Zayas moves around. He likes to pressure in and out. Left-handed boy, right? So he coming from the southpaw side. I can see him landing tons of shots on this guy. Might even get a stoppage, but I definitely got Zayas winning easy. So this should be an easy fight for him to win. I don't think I can't say for sure if he'll knock him out. I won't go that far, but what I will say is he definitely going to win the fight easy. I don't see Arellano being able to hang in there with this kid. This is going to be in the super featherweight division, by the way, if I didn't mention that already. So to the rest of the undercard, they got a pretty much plain card. They got Dominic Valier. That's my boy, 8-0. He going up against Angel Vasquez Leperico. And that guy is 12-1 actually. And this is another super featherweight bout. So this should be pretty interesting. Next fight is going to be a Yoel Angeloni, right? Actually, 2-0, going up against Michael Williams, who's 2-1. That's going to be a welterweight bout. Then you got Famous Wilson, 3-0, going against Nissan Anderson. How about that? That guy is 1-5-2, by the way. Then you got on the last fight, it's going to be a Johanler Martinez, 2-0, going up against Eduardo Torres, 1-1, and that's going to be a middleweight bout, as well as Nissan and them. That's a middleweight bout too. So that's pretty much it for what's happening over there in Plant City, Florida. This is going to be Wednesday at the Pro Box TV Event Center, headlined by Angelo Leo, going up against Eduardo Baez. Again, I got that fight being a KO by somebody. Definitely be surprised if that thing went the distance. If it does, I got Leo winning. And then you're on the undercard. I think the undercard is headlined by Jacob Zayas going up against Jose Arellano, and I got Zayas winning that fight easy. All right, y'all. So this next fight is going to be Thursday, April 11th. It's going to be at the Montreal Casino in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Okay, it's going to be headlined by Eric Bazignan, 32-0. He's going up against a Shaquille Finn, 26-3-1. This is going to be for the North American Boxing Federation Super Middleweight Championship. Now, I think this fight is going to be pretty entertaining. Let me tell you a little bit about it. So, first off, we'll start with Eric, right? So, Mr. Bazignan is 32-0, like I told you. He got 23 knockouts, debuted back in 20 years. This is 11th year fight, and let that sink in. He's 28 years old, though. He's from Canada, so, well, actually, yeah, he was born in Armenia. He lives in Canada, so, yeah, definitely Canada. So, now, getting to my point about him, this is a long time for a guy to be fighting and for you not to really have a big buzz or for people to know about him or to have fought for a major title. So this guy, to me, I like him. I like what he does. He got decent power. I watched a few of his fights. The guy can definitely work. The thing about him to me, though, is he just ain't fought a lot of good guys. And I can't see how that's happening in over 10 years. In 10 years, you couldn't find no high-quality guys to put this boy up against. You got him running up against the last guy he fought, Billy Facundo Godoy, right? He's 41-7. And, of course, the boy done TKO'd him in the third round. I mean, what else you think gonna happen? He fought Ronald Ellis before that. Ronald was 18-3-2, right? He done KO'd Ronald in the 6th round. So, Got a unanimous decision before that against a Jose de Jesus Macias. Now, Jose was 28-11-4, and that was a unanimous decision. So I'm just telling you, there's something to be said about, you know, the quality of guys you're fighting, because you got 33 bouts. So this is 33rd fight, by the way, and you got 23 knockouts. So, you know, I just, at this point, you know, I don't know what to say, because I could tell you how good he is, but then I got to put some type of credence, some type of fight. He's going up against Shaquille Finn, okay? And I know a lot of you definitely haven't heard of Shaquille. Shaquille's 26-3 with 1 draw. He got 17 knockouts. This guy debuted back in 2015. He's 33 years old, also from Canada, known as the Jamaican Juggernaut, by the way. And he looks like that and fights like that. He does have that. That's a decent name. Now, this guy's in the same kind of wheelhouse. You know, he fought a lot of middle-of-the-road guys, but in his case, he done lost to some of them. Now, his last loss was against Mateus Treek, and that was in November of 2019. That was a unanimous decision, and it was an 8-round bout. But ever since then, you know, he won every fight. Looks like he fought 5 times from 2019 to 2023. So you're looking at maybe 1 fight a year, you know, a fight in 1.5, you know, fights a year. So these guys just not active. This guy here just not active, on top of the fact that his record is drenched in middle-of-the-road guys. So hard to really say. But the fights that I did watch, like I said, same thing with Eric. You know, Eric looked good against them guys he fought. Hit them guys with clean. Most of the guys that he fought, they look like they may have had side jobs. Like, you know, boxing might not be what's actually paying the bills, you know. So hard to tell you. Now, how I think this fight going to go, I got to say, I think Shaquille going to be real tough on Eric. I don't think Eric going to knock him out at all. I think this fight definitely going the distance at least, you know, and I wouldn't be surprised if Shaquille pulled out the upset, because the old Jamaican Juggernaut is a tough dude, and I watched him take some shots, you know, and keep moving forward. And I know Eric going to be lighting him up with bombs. I think Eric got the better skill set, so it's more than likely he'll win the fight. I mean, I don't want to get too carried away, but I do see, I can see Shaquille pulling off an upset. You know, I can see him pulling off an upset, and that's just what I'm going to say. But Eric more than likely will win the fight. So to the undercard, it's not much going on, man. So we're not going to get too much into it heavy. You got old Thomas Shabbat, who's 9-0. He's going up against Alfredo Jimenez Espino. And that guy's 6-1-1. That's a featherweight bout, 8 rounds. Then you got a Moreno Findero. That guy's 4-0, going up against Nicholas Luque Palacios. That guy's 13-10-2. Definitely getting fed to the wolves, and that's a middleweight bout. The last fight they got on here is a John Arobio, who's 7-0, and that guy's going to be to be announced. They don't know how many rounds or who he's fighting, so that might not even take place, but it's a lightweight bout nonetheless. And all this is going to be happening Thursday in Montreal at the Montreal Casino in Quebec, Canada. So check that fight out. It's going to be on USA at the ESPN Plus. If you want to watch that, that's where you can catch it. And it's going to be pretty good. I'm telling you, it's a decent fight worth watching. And don't be surprised if Shaquille pulls it out, though. But more than likely, old Bizanyan will beat him. So that's what I think about that fight. All right, y'all. So this next fight is going to be Friday, April 12th at the York Hall, Bethany Green, London, United Kingdom. There's a lot of fights there as well. This fight is going to be headlined by Charlie Edwards. He's going up against Georges Ori for the WBC International Silver Bantamweight Championship. Now, that belt is vacant right now. And let me tell you a little bit about old Charlie. Charlie's 18-1, 7 knockouts. He made his debut back in 2015. He's 31 years old. He's from the United Kingdom, so this is going to be a hometown fight. Now, I like Charlie. Charlie is pretty active. He got busy hands, you know, hasn't fought a lot of, you know, not a lot of guys, you know, worth mentioning, but he has fought some pretty decent guys. He beat an Angel Moreno 4 years ago. That guy was 19-2. He won by unanimous decision. And he's been on a pretty decent win streak, like I said. He TKO'd Jacob Barreto back in 21. And that guy was 13-3. So looking at Charlie right away, I'm gonna tell you, Charlie got to get active. Charlie ain't been fighting a lot, and I don't know why. You know what's been going on exactly with him, but it's a lot of gaps in between his fights. As you can see, something probably definitely was going on because between 20 to 2024, he only fought 3 times. Up until now, he only fought 3 times. Okay, his last fight was in June though of 2023, so that's going on a year almost since he had a fight. And this is only a 10-round bout here for the WBC International Silver Bantamweight Championship. So again, you know, another guy that's kind of just going through the motions to me. You know, I don't understand these guys. Boxing to me is not a sport that you could play forever. You know, I mean, you can't play boxing at all, and it's not something that you can do for a very long time. So for me, once you get, you know, in the mix of things, I think it's really time to get after it. You know, once you kind of feel like you got a good understanding of what's going on as a fighter and a good, as far as what's going on, meaning your skill set, what you do well and what you don't do well, etc. You got to be getting after it, man. These guys, you know, so now let's look at the guy he's fighting. He's going up against Georges Ori. Now, Georges is from France, Southpaw boy. He debuted back in 2013. He's 32 years old. He's a little older than old Charlie. Now, Georges is on the same track. Only difference for him is he done lost a few times to some of these guys, but Georges is in the same wheelhouse as far as high-level competition and things like that. Most of the guys he's fought has been middle of the road. I'm looking his last 5, he won 6 in a row, but the guys, the best record out of the 6 has been 19-4-2. He beat that guy 2 years ago by unanimous decision for the IBO World Super Flyweight title, and that title was vacant at the time, so that's how the two of them fought. But the guys he's been fighting haven't been that good, you know. And I watched him fight a few of his fights, actually, and I got to tell you, not that bad of a fighter, but do I see him going up to United Kingdom beating Charlie? No, I do not. There's a good chance old Charlie knocked this guy out, by the way. Old Georges is decent, but can't see him beating Charlie at all, especially not up in England. I mean, in London, United Kingdom, no way. It's going to be pretty decent. I like it. I like LaRon Richards. Now, that guy is 18-0. He's going up against Steve Woodall for the WBO Intercontinental Super Middleweight title. That title was vacant. And I'm going to tell you right now that I see LaRon winning that fight. More than likely, he's going to beat this guy. He won't knock him out because LaRon don't got a lot of power. But he's slick to me. He's a southpaw. He debuted back in 2013. Been fighting a while. 31 years old. You know, so this is his chance to kind of get his name out there and see if he can make one last push. So that's about it for that fight for me. Also on the undercard, you got Kingsley Ibunike. Pardon me if I pronounced that wrong. That guy is 8-3-1. He's going to be fighting Jordan DeJean for the BBB of C Southern Area Super Welterweight title, which is also vacant, and that's a 10-round fight. On the undercard as well, you got Oliver Zarin going up against John Harding Jr. Oliver is 10-0. John is 11-2-2, and that's a super middleweight bout. That's going to be 8 rounds. Then you got Elliot Whale, 9-0, going up against Joseba Diaz, who's 7-1, and that's a welterweight bout, and that's 6 rounds. Then you got Robert Lloyd Taylor Jr., 6-0, going up against Dennis. Can't even pronounce his name, so he's fighting old Dennis. Dennis is 4-1. That's a super lightweight bout, 6 rounds. You also got Harvey Dykes, 2-0, going up against a Milos Veletic, who's 2-4. You know, that's a heavyweight bout, 6 rounds. Then you got Tom Whelan, 3-0, going up against a Salah Talby, who's 3-3-3. Forget about it. That's a super bantamweight bout. That's 4 rounds. Then you also have Jesse Brandon, who's 3-0, going up against a Jacob Laskowski, who's 4-28-1. Are you believing that? Man, that guy is 4-28-1, they saying. I wonder if that's a typo. Anyway, so that's the gist of that card, man. Like I said, not a lot going on, but hey, that is what's happening on a Friday. So if you got time to check it out, United Kingdom Channel 5, you're going to be able to see this fight. Again, you know, that Charlie should win this fight easy. Georges, like I said, is a decent guy. 17-3-1, but you know the guys, the 17-3-1 is really, the guys haven't been good, so there's not much you can really make of it like that to me, you know. And I want to give him some kind of credit for it, but I just can't, basing it off the record, you know. And I seen, like I said, I watched some of the fights and he looked pretty good, but against that kind of skill set, you know, it's hard not to look good. And he don't got no power. You know, he got about 2 or 3 knockouts, maybe 2. So Charlie gonna walk through him to me, man. Easy fight for Charlie. So that's that, y'all. So the next fight is going to be Saturday, April 13th. This is going to be in the Manchester Arena in Manchester, Lancashire, United Kingdom. It's going to be a good fight now. It's going to be between Jordan Gill going up against Zelfa Barrett. Now, I'm going to tell you about Jordan Gill. That guy's 28-2. He got 9 knockouts, 1 draw. He's known as the Thrill. Huh? The guy be getting after it, though. I'm not going to discredit him. He's turned pro in 2012. He's 5'7", 29 years old right now, and he's from England, so going to be a big deal. Now, I like old Jordan. To me, though, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Jordan. Jordan lost to a Mario Enrique Tinoco, who was 17-5-4. And this was back in May 19th. He was down 3 times in that fight. Then he won 4 of his next 5 with the draw in between to Alan Castillo, who was 27-11. And he was cut on the hairline in that fight, and that was a draw. Now, Jordan's record is 28-2. Very decent record. But I'm going to tell you my problem with Jordan. So, most of the guys that he's beaten, to me, haven't been quality guys. I will give him credit for TKO on Michael Conlan. He was 18-2 at the time. He TKO'd him in the 7th round, so I'm going to go ahead and give Jordan props for that. But other than that, to me, Jordan Gill has not really beat a lot of good guys. Just a lot of middle-of-the-road guys. And his 2 losses actually have been against middle-of-the-road guys to me, but ex-champions, including when he lost to Kiko Martinez. Kiko beat the hell out of him. I'm going to tell you right now. He was down about 4 times in that fight, and I believe his corner might have threw in the towel, but the ref may have stopped it. I'm not quite sure. It might have been even simultaneous, but I do know that he got the hell beat out of him by Kiko. And I'm going to go check and see real quick. He also lost really bad to Mario Enrique Tinoco. That's what I was telling you about earlier. This was in 2019. He was down 3 times in that fight. So, you know, when he goes down, he's going to kill Zelfa Barrett. Zelfa Barrett is 30-2. He got 16 knockouts, okay? Turned pro in 2014. He's 30 years old, 5'7" as well, and another Manchester boy. So these guys is from England. They're going to be getting after it. This is rivalry city, I got to tell you right now. Now, Zelfa is in the same kind of category, though, I got to tell you right now. A lot of middle-of-the-road guys. He started off 19-0 before losing by, I believe it was a majority decision to Ronnie Clark. I would have to check to see what year it was, but he definitely started off 19-0. I remember that. And then he would go ahead on and win about 9 more until he ran into Rakhimov, I believe it is, and he lost to him by TKO. That guy was knocking him all around the ring, I got to tell you right now. He went down, and they stopped it in the 9th, but it was really over with maybe after the 4th round, I want to say, because he went down twice. I think that was in the 3rd round, so definitely was not a good fight for him. But outside of those fights, I mean, he's been beating a lot of guys, you know, some quality guys, you know, Farouk Karbinov, who was 19-3. He beat Bruno Torimo, who was 26-2. But the problem with these guys, and he also beat Kiko Martinez, the same one that beat Jordan. The problem with a lot of those guys is they all padding their records against the same kind of guys. So when you're meeting them, they 22-2, you know, 21-1, but not really, you know. And I'm going to just be honest with you and tell you that. So who I got winning the fight? That's what everybody want to know. That's what we tuned in for. I'm going to tell you, I think Zelfa going to pull this one out. I do like Jordan Gill, but I believe once Zelfa start getting to him and touching him a little bit, I think that's going to be the beginning of the end. This fight could end bloody, you know, and I think Jordan will be on the worst end of that stick. I just don't see him beating Zelfa. I really don't. I really don't. I think Zelfa got too much hand speed and a little bit too much of everything for Jordan Gill. But Jordan, like I say, he's a tough guy. So if you play around with him, you let him get close, you let him get in there and work Jordan to hurt Zelfa, and we'll find a way to win that fight and upset him. But I gotta tell you, this fight gonna be in Manchester. Zelfa's from Manchester. Both of these boys is from England. This is gonna be like a rivalry out kind of block setting for us in America. You know, it's gonna be like that kind of thing. And I just think Zelfa, with his skill set, I think he's going to be able to get Jordan Gill out of there. You know, he'll win by decision. And it's going to be a very good fight, though. I think Jordan will do well for himself, but I just don't think I don't think Zelfa's going to go for it. Only way he might have to stop Zelfa to win that fight, you know, in that city, in that arena on that day. I don't think. Getting on to the undercard, you're going to see Ellie Scottney, 8-0. She's going up against Sigolene Lefebvre. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Ellie. I like Ellie. Ellie, a little fighting monster. She's 8-0, like I told you. She don't got no knockouts, but that don't mean she don't got no power. I'm going to tell you why. She's 26-0. She's 5'4". She's also from the United Kingdom. She's actually from Lewisham, London, United Kingdom. So that's where she is from. And she is currently the IBF Super Bantamweight champion. Now, she's beat everybody they put in front of her, and that's been 8 women. And I'm looking at some of the records, and everybody, you know, most of them was decent records. She fought maybe 2 girls with upside-down records. But I watched her fight a girl named Sharnika Johnson, who was 15-1, and that's where she won the belt from. I thought she put some serious smoke on Sharnika. And what I like about Ellie, and this is why I'm really mentioning Ellie, because to me, I watched her translate what she did against lower competition against the best competition, which was the champion. You see what I'm saying? She got out on Sharnika the same way she got out on them other girls. Now, maybe she might not have enough power to knock girls down or make girls not fight anymore, but she got enough power to stop them dead in their tracks, bruise their face up, have them looking crazy at the end of the fight. And because I'm not quite sure how to pronounce her name, but this girl is a monster, and her alias is Majestic, so I don't have a problem calling her Majestic. She's 30 years old. She debuted back in 2015. Now she's 5'6", so she's a little taller. And by the way, she liked to use that jab. She set a lot of her shit up off that jab, and she throw good combinations to me. And I don't know if I told you, she only got 1 knockout in 18 fights. So clearly this fight is going the distance. So both belts are going to be on the line. Now, who I like winning this fight? I got to tell you, I don't know. This is going to be a tough fight. It's probably top 5 of the fights this week, maybe top 4. Being honest, even though it's a female fight, I know a lot of y'all don't put a lot into females fighting, but trust me, them girls work hard and they be getting after, and they'll beat the hell out of you in the ring set, and trust me, they can fight. I'm talking about you as in a man, like a lot of men. These girls can fight for real, but I can't really tell you who wins. I want to say Ellie wins, but Majestic is a real good fighter. She tall, she know how to box, she stay behind her jab, and she got the same type of power like Ellie, meaning it's not going to be the type to knock Ellie down, but she's going to be able to stop Ellie dead in her tracks when she do hit her, and she might even cut her and bust her open. Now, Ellie might be at a little bit of a disadvantage because this girl's tall, so she may have to adjust how she's throwing some of her punches, and that could affect some of the speed that she's putting on them punches. And I don't know. So, yeah, all I know is it's going the distance, and I'm not going to pick it. Final answer. I don't know who's going to win that fight. I like both of them girls. So I'm going to just tell you about the rest of the undercard, and then we could get moving, because you got Miss Dixon, Rhiannon Dixon, going up against Karen Elizabeth Carbajal. And that's for the WBO World Lightweight Championship, by the way. Now, Rhiannon is 9-0. And Karen is 22-1, so this is going to be a pretty decent fight. They got all good girls fighting on this card, guys. You might want to check this out. This is going to be, you can watch it on DAZN. So that's a good thing. Tune into this. Tune into this. Probably the best card of the weekend, I think. Definitely the best I've seen so far. After that, you got Michael Gomez Jr., who's 20-1. He's going up against Kane Baker, who's 19-10-2, and that's going to be for the BBB of C English Super Featherweight Championship. Then you got Jack Turner, who's 5-0, going up against an Abdul Kisi something 6-round bout, super flyweights. Oh, Abdul is 7-5-1, by the way, so looks like he probably going to be getting out of there. Then you got a Jimmy Sains 3-0 going up against a Matthias Kalecki 2-1, middleweight guy. Middleweight bout, 6 rounds. Then you got William Crolla 4-0 going up against Fabio Casconi, who's 4-9. These more than likely won't be on TV, by the way. Then also you're going to have Brandon Scott, who's 6-0. He's going up against a Rodrigo Matias Areco, who's 5-5-2, Slaughterville. Going to get wiped out. That's a featherweight bout, 6 rounds. And the final bout is a Stephen Clark, who's 1-0, going up against a Jensen Irving, who's 4-9-0. And this is a middleweight bout. So Jensen's getting sent to the slaughterhouse as well. That's how they do, man. They send a bunch of them type of guys at them, and they just going in there to collect the check. So, but anyway, it's going to be a decent card again. Saturday, April 13th at the Manchester Arena, Manchester, Lancashire, United Kingdom. It's going to be headlined by Jordan Gill, going up against Zelfa Barrett. I like Zelfa winning that. Then you got Ellie Scottney, 8-0, going up against a Cejaline Lefebvre, who's 18-0. And that's a 2-belt super bantamweight championship fight, and I think that's going to be really good. And I still don't want to commit to saying who's going to win that fight. I just know it's going to be a really good fight. So you guys try to tune into that if you can. All right, and that's it for that card. All right, y'all. Last fight of the weekend is going to be Saturday, April 13th, headlined by Jared Anderson going up against a Riyad Murphy. Ruben Villa going up against Christian Cruz Chacon. So I'm going to tell you about Jared Anderson and Riyad Murphy first. Now, I like Jared Anderson. Everybody know Big Baby. 16-0, 15 knockouts. He debuted in 2019. So he got 16 fights already. That lets you know he's been getting after it and they ain't been playing around with him. And that you got to appreciate, because a lot of these guys, that's what they like to do. Now, he hasn't been fighting a lot of high-quality guys, but he stepped it up accordingly. And when you look at the records, a lot of the percentages is definitely in the favor of more wins than losses. So you got to give it to him as far as that. It's just about taking the next step now and getting them to them quality rounds. That's what I think. He's been on a 10-round fight streak. Now this will be his 5th straight 10-round fight. So the next shot is pretty decent. He's 32-2 with 26 knockouts. So that says a lot about him. He debuted in 2013, so he's been a pro for a while. He's 31 years old. Now, obviously, he got decent power. His few chances that he's had to win at the high level, he didn't come through. You know, to me, he lost to Arsen Gouliamirian. That's my boy. He got TKO'd by him. And that was at the cruiserweight division. And that's where this guy really has made most of his bones. You know, he moved up. He did win the WBA Cruiserweight Championship from Zackson Zane. That was in 2021. So, yeah, he's stepping up here. This guy is stepping up. This is going to be a big test for him. He may have the footwork, since he's not a big heavyweight, to get inside and maybe work a little bit with Jared. But I think he's going to be just a little bit too small for Jared. I think he's not naturally going to be able to deal with him, just the weight, putting that weight on him. And I think once he feels some of them punches, it's a good chance he's going down. He might get he been knocked out once in his career, so this might be the second time that this happens to him. And it's unfortunate, because he's a good guy. He definitely got decent skills, and I get it. He's stepping up. He's going to try to make some money before it's over. You know, got 31 years old, not a lot of money in that cruiserweight division. You know, the competition is not as elite. It's not as high level, you know, so this will be a big test for him, but he might have jumped out. He definitely jumped out the window to me, not a might have. I think Jared Anderson is a little bit too much for him, and good chance he's going to get knocked out, man. I don't think he's gonna be able to see some of that shit coming. One thing about Big Baby that he don't get a lot of credit for is he faster than he look. Like them punches do get up on you a little quick, especially when he's locked in and he's taking it serious. Sometimes I seen him fight down to the competition a little bit in certain points of the rounds. Just wasted rounds, lost rounds, you know, so I don't like that kind of stuff, but I think if he stays in the mode that he's supposed to, it don't matter what Riyadh do, I don't think he got enough of anything to really deal with what Big Baby is going to put on him. So look for this to be a knockout. I'd be surprised if this went the whole 10 rounds. If it does, I'd actually be disappointed in Jarrett and be way more impressed by Riyadh. You know, even if he lost, if he's able to do 10 rounds with Big Baby, I think that say a lot about him, and he would have earned his bones to stay in the heavyweight division. I think if he get wiped out, he either think of two things, either dropping back down or throwing in the towel, because it's not going to get any better, you know. It's not going to get any better, so that's about it as far as that fight. Now, moving on to the undercard, or, you know, I do like Ruben Villa going up against Christian Cruz Chacon. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Ruben Villa. 21-1, 7 knockouts. He's a southpaw boy, 26 years old, debuted back in 2016. Decent skills, very good hand speed, a lot of footwork to me. Not a lot of power, though. Fought some decent guys. Had his best contest against Emmanuel Navarrete, and guess what? He didn't get knocked out, so that says a lot, because Emmanuel Navarrete usually knocked guys out, knocked them down, and he actually he went down twice in round 1 and in round 4, you know, but got up to continue. So tough dude, man, because a lot of y'all in the know about, you know, boxing. You know, Emmanuel Navarrete is that guy down there, man. He punishing them boys down there. He been beating the hell out of everybody. So this guy done got knocked down twice by him and got back up to finish a 12-round fight. So that say a lot about him, man. I give him a lot of credit for that. But as far as him fighting this guy Chacon now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Chacon just to wrap that part up. Chacon is 27 years old as well. He debuted 10 years ago, back in 2014. He's from Mexico. Let's check out some of the guys he's fought. Not the same level of competition. A lot of middle-of-the-road guys. A few guys padding their record. Best guy he fought was 15-1. He beat him by unanimous decision. Lost by unanimous decision to a guy with a similar record. So, again, not a lot of high-level guys. He's definitely not beating Ruben Villa. That's definitely not going to happen. Look for him to lose by unanimous decision. I don't think Villa got the power to stop Chacon, honestly, unless Chacon just come in really overweight or out of unless he just don't got it anymore, which I don't believe to be true. I think he's coming to win the fight, but I don't think he got enough skill set to handle what Ruben Villa is going to do to him. So look for that fight to go the distance, and look for him to lose. Him as in Chacon. And the last fight on this card I'm going to talk about, man, is Efe Ajagba. He's going up against Guido Vianello. Now, this is going to be a good fight because both of these guys is big heavyweights. They like throwing bombs. I watched Efe fight a few guys. He got nice power. He stay up on you. Good pressure. He like throwing uppercuts. He got 14 knockouts and 19 wins. Only 1 loss. He stands at 6'6". You know, so this would be a good guy really for old Big Baby to fight, if you ask me. 29 years old. Let's see. He beat some undefeated guys. He beat Zan Kazubutsky, right, who was 19-0. But that was a disqualification. He won that fight, though. He also beat Steven Shaw, who was 18-0. He won by unanimous decision. His only loss was to Frank Sanchez, and that was for the WBC Continental Americas Heavyweight Championship. He lost that unanimous decision, and he lost bad 98-91 on most cards, 97-92 on the final card. So outside of that, he beat middle-of-the-road guys, so he won't get carried away. His last one was against a Joseph Goodall. He won the WBC Silver Heavyweight Championship, and he beat him by TKO. And old Joseph was 10-1-1. So, like I said, Efe is pretty decent. He got good power. He right in that middle of the road kind of thing for us the next generation. So could be time for him to step up. Now Guido to me is in the same boat. He debuted in 2018. He's 29 years old. Big Guido is how tall? 6'6". So these gonna be some giants. Both of these boys 6'6" standing in there. And they both kind of fight the same way. They like throwing power. They like knocking guys out. So that's what we're going to be trying to see. I'm almost guaranteeing somebody gets knocked out in this fight. Guido got sneaky power to me because he don't look like he hit as hard as he hit. You know, he got the type of power that's flat and natural, you know, like that power, you know, surprisingly. So I think in Big Guido, once he start hitting FA a little bit, FA going to be surprised. So don't sleep on this boy, but I do think FA should pull it out. I think he got enough speed and power to get the job done. I think he a little quicker than Guido, and I think he put better combinations together than Guido. So I do like FA winning that fight. But again, if Guido touching the right way, good night, Irene, for the knockout. Now on to the rest of this card, man. I'm going to tell you right now, not a lot going on other than that. You got Charlie Suarez, 16-0. Nice kid. He's going up against Luis Correa, who's 15-6. That's a super featherweight bout, 8 rounds. Correa is going to get stopped, by the way, in that fight. Then you got Abdullah Massan. I like Abdullah Massan. Very good young man, good hand speed, good power. He's going to show out against a Ronald Ron, who's 14-5. That's a lightweight bout, 8 rounds. Abdullah might knock him out. That boy can fight for real. He's going to be making some good noise soon. So just keep your eye on Abdullah. I like him. Jalon Walker, also on this card, 12-0-1. He's going up against Alejandro Guerrero. That guy's 12-4, and that's a super featherweight bout. That's going to be 8 rounds. You also got a round up against Mr. Alvarez Telemaco, who's 3-3-2. He's getting wiped out. Then you got 2 guys making their debut, Ali Feliz and Julian Delgado. 4-rounders, both one a heavyweight. Ali, he's a heavyweight, and Julian's a middleweight. They're making their debut. Not sure who they're fighting yet. Now, those are going to be 4 rounds fights. So, again, this is going to be at the American Bank Center in Corpus Christi, Texas. You got Big Baby Davis, Jared Anderson going up against Riyad Murray. You got Ruben Villa fighting Christian Cruz Chacon. And you're going to have F.A. Jagba going up against Guido Vianello. And all those fights is going to be happening again at the American Bank Center, Corpus Christi, Texas, Saturday, April 3rd. USA, ESPN, ESPN Plus. That's where you're going to be able to see that fight, and I like it. It's going to be a pretty decent card. So, hope everybody enjoy it. All right, y'all, just to wrap it up, I wanted to thank everybody that stayed in there, everybody that hung in there. Hope y'all got some information out of it. Hope y'all got something that you could use to either make some money or maybe, you know, change it, get you into watching the fight one way or the other. Just hope I was able to be of service to somebody. Definitely appreciate everybody tuning in. Of course, man, don't forget to hit the like button, jump in the comments, let me know what you're thinking and what you're looking forward to as far as anything else. I appreciate all the love as usual, man. See y'all at the next one. Peace.